Hey YouTube fam, it's your girl Leah back again with another video. In today's video, as you can see from the title, is me just making a headband half wig using human hair crochet. And today's human hair crochet is a hair that I've already reviewed on this channel. I already tried on this channel. It's a Shake and Go Naked Loose Deep hair. Now when I took that hair out, unlike most hair that I reviewed on this channel, I actually saved it to be reused, and I never knew the day to come when I was going to reuse that hair, but today is said day. Now unless you've been living under a rock, you guys should be aware that the half wig headband craze has gone off like gangbusters here on YouTube. It's almost every single day I see a new half wig headband human hair wig video coming up on this platform, and it's mainly due to the lace shortage. If you're not aware, the Asian markets experienced a lace shortage the early part of the pandemic that really took effect and really took hold, I'd say the May, June, July, August time frame. You know, when the pandemic first hit, you feel like you got all the lace in the world, but then when you start making the components, they realize, hey, we're running a little low on lace. We got to come up with a way to make money. And voila, the headband wig came about, and it could have been an ultimate flop, but surprisingly, it really took off, especially with most people being at home during the quarantine and wanting something not frou-frou, not fancy. They just needed a throw on and go thing. So the headband wig really took off. And I wanted to take part of the phenomenon, but make it crochet. So today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I made this wig, telling you the pros and cons of it, and then overall telling you what I think of this craze of the headband wigs. If you want to see all of that, just keep watching. Now, this is that Shake and Go Naked Loose Deep hair that this time last year, I think I made about 4 or 5 videos surrounding. You guys should be very familiar with this hair, how it looks in that dreadful loop at the top that you guys know I wasn't a huge fan of, but I understood why it was there. Now, you guys will find out later on in this video that this is a repeat film. I mean, literally from top to bottom, this whole video, beginning, middle, and end, is refilmed. So, unfortunately, I don't have the footage of me installing all of the hair into the cap, but I did take out a few strands just so I could show you how I installed this into this braided wig. I got this braided wig from Amazon, and I will link it down below. I think I also got this mannequin head from Amazon, but if you guys are interested in that as well, I'll link it down below as well. But all I'm doing is just pulling the hair through the loop. I'm just sticking the needle through the braid, and I do like this cap because it does have those braids. Then I am pulling the hair through and then just pulling the hair back through the loop. I'm only looping it once. You guys know, if you actually saw my install of this when I installed it on my head, it's pretty much the same exact process. This isn't a hair that you're gonna want to double loop at all, just because that loop at the top already makes it kind of hard in itself, and it is pretty stable with that knot at the top. Now again, like I just mentioned, this video is a top to bottom refilm. So I already dyed this hair with the Cream of Nature Honey Blonde hair dye. And that's what you can kind of see at the ends of this hair. I was trying to go for like an ombre look, and it did pick up in some places, but the footage of that is somewhere in mystery land. But I digress. This is what color it should have been. Again, Cream of Nature and a lot of box dye gives you an idea of if your hair is black, if your hair is dark brown, what color you should achieve. I didn't fully get the color that I wanted. So in today's video, I'm just going to go in with the Dark and Lovely color that you guys will see me, as I think a ginger blonde color. You'll see me apply that to this hair, and I let it sit for 2 hours. That's right, on the packaging it says 25 minutes, but again, I had already seen what happened with the Cream of Nature, and I left that on for 1:30. So with the Dark and Lovely, I said, why not try it for even longer? We'll see if the results are exactly the same, and you guys will see if they are exactly the same right now. Now, I washed out that dye and I let it blow dry and air dry, and this is literally the next day. So I'm taking the cap. Again, this is the construction of it. It does have one comb in the back with adjustable straps, 2 combs in the front. So I do like the construction of this cap. I'm just going to throw it on, and again, as you can see, the ends look the way they do look. I'll talk more about that in this video. But since this is the headband wig, I am putting it a little further back, and then I'm going to pop on the head headband of my choice. I just decided to go with this white headband. So this is the finished look. Let me give you guys a turnaround so you guys can see how this looks. And again, this is the hair in its natural state. Now, full disclaimer, I filmed this a synthetic video. I filmed me washing this hair. I filmed me dyeing this hair, and I lost all the original footage from all of that. So when you see the synthetic version of me doing this video, as well as this video right now, this is a re-record. I was so devastated. I cried that I lost all this footage because I don't know where it went. I've never in the 4 years of making content have lost footage like that. So I am so sorry that my actually installing and putting this on a wig wasn't in its full entirety. I had all that footage. I had so much other footage, but alas, my Canon G7X Mark II just disappeared, all that footage. So I'm going to refilm this video with the same vigor and same passion that I had the very first time, and maybe add in a little more. But the first thing I want to talk about is I dyed this hair, and having to have filmed this twice, I actually dyed this hair twice because I was going to show you on camera me filming this period. So the first time I dyed it, which the footage is long gone, I used the Cream of Nature Honey Blonde, and this is the Cream of Nature permanent hair color. Both of these are permanent hair colors, and this has a 30 level developer. And then in the video clip that you guys saw, I used the Dark and Lovely and the color Chestnut Blonde, and I believe that Dark and Lovely uses a 25 level developer. And again, this is the contents of what it came out as. There are some pieces that, if you look very closely, did change a wee bit. So it did turn a little bit. And when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit. So I want to start this video off just talking about the color. I got a lot of questions when I reviewed this hair a year ago. Hey, can it be dyed? And on the packaging, it said it could be dyed. So I told you guys, yeah, it can be dyed. I hadn't personally tried it, but if the packaging claims you can curl it, you can put heat to it, and you can dye it, you can treat it just like human hair, I'm going to believe you on said stance. And I've tested out finally in today's video, and I will say you might have to take a lot to get this hair color. Now, a YouTuber on this platform that I do not shout out enough, and I don't know why, but she's an amazing crochet hair content creator. So if you're looking for crochet hair content, please check out Marcita here on YouTube. Awesome creator. She's the only video I could find on actually dyeing this hair as well, and I wanted to check it out to just make sure that my results weren't just in a vacuum, like it was just me, like I was having issues, I did something wrong. And she dyed this hair as well, had the same results, almost epic fail. She had to use a level 50 developer, bleach, and the color dye all combined. And she believes, I think in the video, saying that the bleach itself is what really helped it, but it really didn't do much to changing the hair. She had used the whole, regular developer 30. I think she had originally had 30 or 20 level developer, didn't work. Then she went out again, tried 50 level, added bleach, added all this stuff, and it still took a lot. This hair takes a lot to color. Now, I've used Cream of Nature before on bundles. I've dyed bundles before. I used to have bundles. I used to do sew-ins all the time, and I used to make clip-ins sometimes too out of bundles. So I would just get a Dark and Lovely. It would change automatically. It was no issues. I've used Cream of Nature on my own hair. In college, I went through a phase where I thought I was somebody's beautician, so I would style my own hair. And I'm surprised I don't have more damage because of it, but I digress. Still took on my real hair. I did dark and I did light. Both times my hair reacted the same. This hair, again, I did it once, and the first time, it did a little bit. The second time, it still gave me the results that you're seeing right now. Again, on the side, it tells you what color you should be seeing. If you have, kind of lighter hair all the way to black hair. So I have black hair, it should have gone up to here. Same thing goes for this side. It gives you kind of that color gradients on what you should expect. And I clearly don't have these kind of colors. So again, Marcita said in her video is a fail. And I'm going to also say it's not the easiest hair to dye. So again, would definitely need some developer, bleach, hair color. It's going to take a lot. There's not a lot of dyeing of this hair videos on YouTube. And that's for good reason, because you probably can't dye it. So just wanted to get the color out the way and talking about the color. Now, just overall talking about the hair, I have a whole review on this hair. I wore it for, 5-6 weeks. I'll link up my review. I also have a video where I flat iron this hair, I curl this hair, I wand curl it. I do several different styles with this hair. So this is it in its natural state. This is it. Again, I just washed out the color, let it air dry and combination blow dry. So I blow dried it for a little bit, and then I let it air dry overnight. And this is kind of what the natural natural state of the hair is if you kind of just do nothing. But again, having reviewed this hair, this being the same exact hair, I flat ironed it. I've done all that stuff to it. Now, the cost of this is astronomical. I believe this is 16 inches. Again, I reviewed this hair and I tried this hair a year ago, and I believe Shake and Go sent me this hair. I kept it real in my review. I'm always going to keep it real in my review, but Shake and Go did send me this hair, and I believe they sent me the 16 inches. But just to give you guys an overall view, because 16 inches is going to be a lot more than the price I'm quoting you on today, but if you get the 14 inches, it is $47.99 a pack. There are 35 pieces in each pack. Again, since I didn't pull this out of the pack, I pulled this out of a plastic bag in my hair closet, so I had to count each strand hand by hand to kind of get the number of packs I have in my head right now, and I only have about 4 packs of hair. Again, I think they sent me 6. I don't know what happened to the rest of the hair they sent me, but I do have equivalent of about 4 packs in my head. I think you're gonna need 5 or 6 to make a full. I don't have full density right now, but again, I'm not buying this hair anymore, so I wasn't gonna buy any more to fill up this hair, but I do think you're gonna need about 5 packs. So that will put you at a price point of, if you get 14 inches at $47.99 a pack and you get 5 packs, you're going to spend $239.95. What a lot of money for human hair crochet. Now, I have a whole video, again, another video. I made a lot of videos when I tried that human hair crochet, and I made a whole video about bundles and human hair crochet. Which is better? Which do I prefer? And again, sorry, Shake and Go, for sending me the hair. I came out to the conclusion that why not just get a sew-in? Why? And I had some comments in that video, well, it's just, we want crochet. We want human hair crochet. We don't want bundles. We would get a sew-in if we want a sew-in. I'm just saying my opinion. It comes out cheaper to have bundles, to buy bundles, and to really get a sew-in. You don't have to worry about the elastics at the top. Human hair, again, bundles. This used to cost me, I used to get a 14, 16, and 18 inch. It used to cost me $160 back when I was buying bundles. Price may have gone up. It's been about 4 or 5 years since I was really the bundles queen, and before I switched over to being the crochet girl that I am today. But again, bundles was what, $160? I spent $160. This whole situation will be $2 something for human hair crochet. Again, I don't want to knock anybody who wants to get human hair crochet, but I'm just saying, to me, crochet is just better suited for synthetic. It's just more cost effective, most cost appropriate. I look good in my sew-ins back in my day. I would buy my own bundles, reuse my own bundles, but again, I just think, even if you're going to make a wig, some people were like, I can use crochet to make a wig. You can just make a wig using bundles. Again, my bundles used to cost me $160 for 3 bundles, 14, 16, 18. I used to get it from AliExpress. I always get questions, what vendor was it? I think it was Rose Beauty Hair, but it's been so long ago. Don't fully remember, but again, it was super affordable. With this, you get low density. Again, I only have 4 packs in right now, and I think 4 packs at the 16 inch price point will put you somewhere over $200, and it's still low density. You would need a lot more hair to create a wig that had a density that was, I think, equivalent enough. And this is comparing my density to the synthetic wig. I made the same video making a synthetic headband wig, and I'll link that video up above, but the density on that, of course, is fuller, and that was $30, as opposed to this being over $200 something, and again, being very low density. Yeah, it's not for me. It's not my jammy jam. So that's kind of my thoughts on kind of this hair specifically. I have a whole review, so if you want to know how I feel about this hair itself, make sure you check out my review video. But now I'm going to speak on the headband wig craze in general. Again, like I said at the top of this video, unless you've been living under a rock, you guys should be fully aware that this headband wig craze took off like gangbusters. Again, the lace shortage caused it, but what really propelled it was the fact that we are in a quarantine, a pandemic. People aren't going to clubs, bars, ain't going to fun, weddings, activities, things that are happening out in these streets. People ain't been in these streets. And when they go out in these streets, there's really a run in, go grab something and run back out. And what you need for that is a throw on and go thing. So this headband wig craze, I think, was mainly successful because of everybody's being at home. I think if they had released this in 2020 and it hadn't been a pandemic year and there wasn't a lace shortage, then it wouldn't have gone off the way it went off. But it really went off. Content creators really pushed this hard, and I think kudos to content creators because I don't think they get enough shine for what they've done for this. Again, if RPG Show, if Her Given Hair, my first wig, all these companies didn't have the content creators that they have, this wouldn't even have became a thing, because people weren't going to go on their site searching for this. They needed to see it on people. And the content creators, again, have been phenomenal. Some of my peers have been phenomenal in the content they pushed out. For me, would this be my jammy jam jam? Now, I like this. Again, if I was going to spend $100 more to fill it in, to make it fuller, I think this would be something I definitely throw on and go. But again, spending $100 more, this would put this over at $300 for me. And that's what a lot of these half-wig headband human hair wigs have cost. They've been somewhere roughly between $175 and I've seen at the high end maybe a $310. So $310. So for a headband wig, again, I don't knock businesses for coming out with it, because if you create a product, all you can do is hope people buy it. But for me, as a buyer, this won't be my jammy jam jam for this price point. I would probably go with synthetic over this, because again, yes, I can curl it, I can straighten, I can flat iron it, I can do all this. But your girl was a throw on a hat kind of girl before this quarantine. Before this quarantine, your girl was doing this on a normal day. It wasn't even no pandemic, and I would go to the store, throw on a hat. Throwing on a hat was my jammy jam jam. If you watch one of my most recent videos, I even got a hat wall. So throwing on a hat and going out the door with, you know, a wig, a half wig or whatever was my jam, my go-to when I was in between crochet styles, or, you know, I took out a hair one night and I had to run out early in the morning to go do something. It was just throwing on any old wig, didn't matter the wig, didn't matter the cost, and throwing on a hat. So for me, a hat and a wig, $20 wig is my jam. I'm not so much so inclined for, you know, $300 human hair, but there are so many people out there who this is a good solution to problems for. To me also, I was a half wig girl back in 2012, 2014, a headband girl too. I used to always put headbands on too, not in the same format as this, which is more so, you know, your hair is down and the wig is kind of there. I used to pull my hair, of course, out, just because a lot of half wigs back in the day, or might still have them, that little hump, that you have a very distinctive hump, which will be hard to get a headband just to sit on top of and not look kind of wonky. So I used to have to pull my hair over it just to kind of flatten it out a little bit and then put my headband on so it didn't look too crazy. So I look at this craze like, dang, I was ahead of the curve. I was out here doing this before this was a thing, before people was making millions. I could have made a video back in the day. I wasn't even doing YouTube back then, and I could have made a video and could have just took off if I knew this was what people were looking for. But again, going back to what I said, I don't think people were looking for this prior to the pandemic. I think the pandemic really helped this movement take off. This wouldn't personally be my thing, but I did want to create a suggestion for people out there, one, who already have human hair crochet and are looking to do something with it. Again, reusability with human hair. This is the only hair that I've ever saved on this channel. I've tried so many synthetic hair, and again, I throw them out because I don't plan on reusing it. But this being human hair, I did take the time out to save it, because now I have a wig that I can put a hat on and walk out the door with, or I could put a headband on and walk out the door with. Again, if it were a little bit more filled in the back, that would be a solution. But again, this is a good solution for people looking for something to do with their human hair crochet. This is a good solution for people who are looking for a throw on and go out the door option. This might not be a great solution for people who are not trying to spend the money on a human hair half wig, headband wig. In this case, I would definitely say go with the human hair half wig, headband wig, because it's just going to be just as expensive. It's the same price point. You're not saving any money, unlike the synthetic half wig I made. But again, apples to apples, you're getting a hair that you're supposed to be able to color, which not really able to in this case. I really do feel like they must too have dyed this. So on the packaging of this hair, I remember I got it in the color natural, I believe. So natural, which is supposed to be the natural color. Like, they did no additives to it. It's hard for me to believe that they didn't put some extra dye on this. It's really hard. The way it's not taking color, the way bundles, again, bundles are natural too. Like, this is the natural, I guess, color of the bundle. And it used to take color beautifully, as opposed to this that isn't taking color that well. I do feel like this has to be processed. This can't be raw. This can't be in its raw format. So I have a little bit of skepticism about Shake and Go saying that this is natural, in the sense that it's not taking color well, it's not holding color well, it's not adapting. I just feel like it has to be dyed for uniformity, especially a lot of times, you know, bundles can come from, you know, one person. Bundles are, of course, other people's hair. So this came from one person a lot of times. And sometimes it's not. Like, sometimes this is a mixture of other people's hair. With this, I could definitely see it being a mixture of different human hair and them having to maybe possibly dye it to make it uniform. But they claim, you know, it's not dyed. You can dye it yourself. But again, that's their claim. But I hope this video helped you guys out. Again, I wanted to take part of this craze, but make it crochet. Make it part of my niche. And I hope that is is what today's video did. If you liked it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Even if you didn't like it, I still give it a big thumbs up just for the effort of me having to boo-hoo cry over re-recording 3 videos that I just up and lost. It was such a heartbreaking moment, but I knew there were bigger things out there in the world that didn't even really matter. So I got over it very quickly, put my big girl pants on, and re-recorded this video. So that alone deserves a big thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel so you don't miss any of this good content when I don't delete videos that I produce over here. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram at Lia Lavon 89 so you can keep up with my shenanigans in real time, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.